All right, let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. So, like you can see here, guys, being lean in 2025, it makes you rare. All right, now I know I'm gonna have those people in the comments because they still, for some reason, comment on videos. I'm like, bro, go outside and touch grass. They're like, nah, bro, being lean is not rare, dude. I'm like, I don't know a lot of people who make millions and I make a million a year and I'm like 25 and I'm like super lean. No, you're not, bro. Because people who make a million a year at that age who are lean don't spend time with no profile picture commenting dumb shit like that. All right, that's literally the dumb shit I ever read in my life. But yeah, there are more net worth millionaires by far than there are lean people. I don't fucking see lean people like almost ever. All right, so why you're still fat and how to fix it, no BS. Now, the first thing is everyone sees losing body fat as like a short-term goal, as some fucking magical shit. This is not Harry Potter. There is no expecto patronum. All right, you're not gonna be saved by a fucking spell or some shit. All right, it doesn't work like that. It takes years to get rid of your bad habits because it took years to gain those bad habits. All right. The reason you have those stubborn love handles, you're like, oh, I can't get rid of them. Your body fat percentage is so high. All right. You're 30% body fat and you're asking why you have love handles. You're lucky you don't have diabetes at that fucking body fat percentage. All right. Listen, you're not gonna lose all that shit in 1 month. You didn't gain it in a month. There's no one pill. Stop looking for pills and all this other stuff. What's that thing called right now? I know a lot of people are starting to use retropetide. I don't know what it's called, something like that. A lot of people are starting to use that. They're like, "Oh, what's your opinion on that?" I'm telling you guys right now. Remember, I said this shit. In 10 years, they're gonna say if your loved one took these peptides, you are entitled to compensation. They're gonna say that shit, all right? Because that shit's not even studied, and I'm pretty sure you gotta inject that shit. But anyways, all you gotta do is be in a fucking calorie deficit to get the results, right? A lot of people I've seen on retropetide or whatever it's called, they literally go from fat as shit to less fat as shit. All they have to do is eat less, though. They have so much fat to lose, and they're like, "It's the retro It's It's like, bro, just fucking eat less, man. Like, it's just insane. Like, there's no one magic pill, 1 week of fasting. All of that is the lottery mindset. Everyone's always looking for a one pill because they don't want to actually change themselves and their habits. All right, and that's the issue. Like, they're like, "Oh, I need Ozempic. I need Ozempic to help me," and then they take Ozempic and they still eat like a fat pig, and then they don't lose fat. It's insane. All right, here's the brutal truth. Like I said, pure laziness. If you want to, what you need to do is surround yourself with non-lazy people, because a lot of lazy people, when they see bare minimum work being done, they're like, oh my God, there's so much I could never do that. It's like, what do you mean? One workout 4 times a week and eating what you're supposed to eat because it's called healthy food. That's what you consider a lot? Insane, right? Insane to me. And like I said, you want to surround yourself with locked in people because best believe if you're hanging with CrossFit athletes, if you're hanging out with, people who do MMA or just people who are lean and work out, they're just always locked in, right? It's just a standard that they have for themselves. Versus if you're hanging out with the average person who just goes clubbing, gets no bitches. They go clubbing, they play video games, they eat pizza on the weekends, they cheer on their favorite team, and then their wife is like, "Oh my God, did you take your diabetic medication?" They're like, "No, leave me alone. I'm drinking beer with the boys." Shit like that. That's the average person. Stay away from those people. All right, they're gonna keep your mindset down. They're gonna keep you lazy as shit. All right. Yes, you can watch football and you can watch basketball, but if your shit isn't together and you're like cheering on the team and you're like, "Yeah, we won," who the fuck is we, nigga? You're not even in. You're not in shape enough to make it through 1 hour of training camp. Number one. Number two, nobody knows you exist. The whole team doesn't know if you exist. If you die tomorrow, the entire team is not gonna be like, "Yo, that was our number one fan, bro. Let's throw." They don't give a fuck, bro. All right, straight up. Inconsistent habits. A lot of people eat when you're bored. Listen, food is not something you do when you're bored for the last time. It is fuel. Do you know what fuel means? Food is fuel, guys. Food is fuel. It's not something you do when you're bored. A lot of people who say, "Man, I'm just overeating." It's like, you just like this one. Get the fuck away from me. It's not that deep. You were bored, so you ate cookies. That's a you problem. That makes no sense. You're supposed to eat for fuel. You're supposed to eat because you need it. All right. Period. And here's the thing: celebrating every weekend. Listen, weekends happen every week. Every week ends with a weekend. That's why it's called a weekend. There's 52 weekends in a year. There's 52 weeks in a year. Stop celebrating the week by drinking like a fish and then wondering why you're out of shape. Now, if you want to go drinking like a fish, you want to eat like shit, you want to do all this stuff, that's okay. All right. Just don't expect to be lean. Like, period. Just don't. All right. So here are the top 5 mistakes I see. Obviously, overtraining, right? People haven't trained for years and then they're like, "Man, I'm so motivated right now. I'm so motivated right now. Here we go, man. Here we go." And they go 21 days straight and their central nervous system is like, "Bro, I'm cooked." And they're like, "Damn, bro, I got to take a day off." And then once they take that day off, they end up taking like a week off, which their body probably needs after going 21 days straight. But then they feel like damn, man, I messed up, man. I went 21 days straight, and now it took 7 days off. Man, I fell off, and then they just quit, right? Unrealistic expectations. Most people just go through life eating more calories than they think they are, and then gaining a lot of fat. And then as soon as they lock in, they're like, yo, they're like, a lot of people have messaged me. They're like, yo, Luth, I'm serious. I want to like lose this fast, man, because I'm like really locked. I'm really serious right now. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how serious you are, bro. You have so much fat to lose because you spent so much time gaining it. It's gonna take time to lose it. Like just because you like have higher motivation right now doesn't mean the process works faster. And you don't even need to depend on motivation. You need to depend on systems and discipline. That's what matters, not just like temporary motivation. Here's the thing: a lot of people get motivated for a day or so, or a week, or a month, and they go super hard and they stop. All right, this is a battle of attrition. This is a long term. It's a long term thing. Whoever lasts the longest, pause, is always going to get the best results. Yes, most people, specifically from January 1st to like January 20th, around that area, most people work way harder than I do in the gym. I'm not gonna lie. They probably eat cleaner than I do for those 20 days. But guess what? When you average it out for the whole year, all 52 weeks, I hit the gym at least 5 times in the entire 52 weeks. I hit my protein. I hit my protein goal 365 days. They hit it for 20 days. All right. Very, very simple. Make sure you pace yourself. Program hopping. No fucking program will work if you don't give it enough time to work. All right. By the way, programs are in the bio. Like the thing is, you should be doing especially if you're a beginner, you should be doing the same movements for years and years and years. You literally should, to progressively overload and to really get the best benefit out of it. All right. Barbell rows work a lot of muscles. Pull ups work a lot of muscles. These are compound movements. Incline bench press, squats, they work a lot of muscles. Over time, as you get stronger, right, you get more mind muscle connection because you're being consistent. You're eating more protein. You'll be continuously building muscle. All right. However, if you're like, yo, I'm giving this program 2 weeks, you do something for 2 weeks and you're like, man, it's not working. You didn't give it enough time to work. Nothing works without time. You can't even get a degree without spending 4 years. Simple. All right. Now, like I said earlier, chasing the next supplement, spending hours researching, over analyzing, getting analysis paralysis instead of actually doing fucking work. It's just the stupidest shit. Let me tell you what works right now: clean nutrition, strength training, decent sleep, not overtraining. That's all you got to do. Who's going to do that? Like I said earlier, it's rare to be lean in 2025. Most people aren't doing that shit. All right. Neglecting nutrition. Like I said, people are saving workouts that they find online. They're doing different workouts all the time. They might even be running. I know a lot of people who run. They can run pretty far. They don't lose fat. Why? Because they eat like shit. All right. If you burn calories and then you eat more than you burned, guess what happens? You store it as fat. It's not that deep. Basic ass science. All right. So the real path to fat loss, like I said, is going to be that high protein calorie deficit, strength training, 6 to 8 hours of sleep, progressively overloading, and being consistent. Specifically being consistent. For some reason, nobody is consistent. All right. Nobody's consistent. So that's why, like I said, I don't see a lot of lean people, right? Now, if you go to certain gyms and you see like a lot of lean people, you're gonna see the same lot of lean people for the entire year, right? Like, for example, if you go to a gym and you see like 15 lean dudes, you're gonna be like, whoa, there's a lot of lean people. Then you look on social media, you see, obviously you're gonna see hundreds of lean dudes. It's the same hundreds of lean dudes every single day. You can be like, wow, everyone's lean, right? What do they call that? They call that that thing's called an effect when you like, I forget what it's called, but if you start looking up, like if you start like watching Alex Eubank or something on YouTube or Instagram, now all you get on your explore page is lean people, and then on YouTube all you get is lean people, so you think everyone's lean, but in reality majority of people aren't. Drive by a KFC line, a Popeyes line, McDonald's, it doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's snowing, if someone just got shot, motherfuckers, big backs are going to be in that fast food line. They don't give a shit. They're always going to be there. They don't make any excuses. If they can show up to fast food lines no matter what, you can show up for yourself no matter what. Simple. All right. Now for aesthetics, you're gonna want high muscle, low fat, obviously, good shoulder waist ratio. You know what I mean? Which really comes from having lats, having a smaller waist, and then having decent shoulders. That's all it is. And all that comes from building muscle over time, and then having lower body fat. Simple. That's what lean is. Lean is high muscle, low body fat. Lean is not just skinny with, you can kind of see your abs because you're skinny. No, that's not what it is. All right. Now, how do you start today? Let me tell you something. All right. But how do you start today? Seriously, a lot of you guys are like, yo, I'm going to drop to 1800. I want to lose this fast. Remember that dude on my live a couple of months ago? I know he's fat as shit right now, but he said, "Hey man, I'm 320. Why not just drop it down to 1900 calories? Because I want to lose this quickly." He spent obviously years and years and years building all that fat. Just because you're losing weight on the scale quicker doesn't mean you're losing fat faster. If anything, your long-term fat loss is going to be in jeopardy because you're probably losing muscle, which is going to slow down your metabolism. You see what I'm saying? So don't be in a rush and try to just like be like, fuck it, let me get down to 1600 calories and you're 300 pounds. Bro, if you're 300 pounds, like this dude was 300 pounds, that means if he ate 3,500 calories, he would be losing fat. If he worked out 4 times a week and he ate like 3,500 calories, he'd be losing at least a pound of fat. Oh, you want to lose more? Go down to 3,000. There's no reason he should have been trying to go to 17 and 1900 like he was trying to go to. Because in order for him to get to 320, he's clearing 4,000 calories easily a day. You can't eat 3,000 calories and get to 300 pounds. You have to really ramp that shit up and be serious about it and lock in and eat like 4,000 plus. So simple. All right, 10K steps. I know some of you guys are like, should I do 10K steps? Should I train daily? All you have to do, I promise you, go to the gym, get 4 quality sessions a week. Starting off, get 4 to 5 quality sessions per week, and just lock in on your nutrition. All the cardio and all that stuff, you can add the steps and the cardio. Focus on that stuff later. If you focused on the big two, nutrition and workout, you'd be fine. But people just don't do that shit. People work out and they're like, damn, I'm not losing weight. Should I add cardio? I'm like, what are you eating? They're like, me, I don't know. I don't track it. You're not doing the bare minimum. If you're not tracking what you're eating, you don't even know if you're in a fucking deficit and you're expecting to lose fat. Stupid as hell. All right. Clean up your nutrition and strength train. That's literally the solution for most people. If most people cleaned up their nutrition and strength train, they'd have more muscle mass, less fat. Simple. But they're like, no, I gotta add cardio. Bro, I'm doing 20K steps. Why am I not losing? I don't care that you're doing 20K steps, bro. You're doing 20K steps and you're eating McDonald's, like Taco Bell. That's not how it works. All right. Now, how to be consistent, right? To lose the fat permanently, you have to realize and have self accountability, like I talk about a lot, and realize that a routine is not going to work if you don't work. All right. So if you're like, man, this shit ain't working, man, this ain't working for me. Why isn't it working? Because you're not fucking doing it consistently, or you didn't give it enough time to work. That's the only two. That's the only two solutions. Because there is literally no way a routine doesn't work. The only way a routine doesn't work is if you don't do the work. That's it. That's how it works. Right. If one of my clients gets lean and they put on muscle, why is that? Is it magic? No, they did the fucking work. If one of them doesn't, what happened? They skipped every workout and they ate like shit. It's not that deep. All right. There's no other answer. Now, if you reject that, you know, a calorie deficit and strength training is not the answer, right? If you reject the truth as the answer, then there is no answer for you. All right. You're just going to be chasing shit that doesn't exist because you live in fairy tale land. I don't live in la la land. A routine's not going to work if you're inconsistent, like I just said. Stop doing these routines for 2 weeks instead of a minimum of 6 months, which is a short period of time. I'd really say do it for a year at least. But honestly, if there's a routine that's really working for you, you're getting results, run that bitch for years on end. All right. Stop expecting results when you aren't putting in the work. Like I always say, people are always frustrated with the results they're not getting from the work they're not putting in. Like what people present me with is absolutely embarrassing. They're like, man, like I ate healthy for 2 weeks. Did you eat in a deficit? Nah, but I ate healthy. Who cares, bro? It's called healthy. You're supposed to be doing this shit. The fuck? You did the bare minimum for 2 weeks, and you want me to, call? What do you want me to do? Like call God and be like, "Hey, yo, God, give me results." That's not even how it works. But is that what you're expecting? Because you literally don't deserve anything if you ate healthy for 2 weeks. That's stupid. You should be eating healthy every day. It's basic. That's bare minimum. All right. If you can't see a Johnson, you got a big ass stomach. Links are in the description. You know the fucking drill.